Hello and welcome to the Change Gang podcast with me, your host, Laura Ordile. I'm here to help you hold on to your sanity and your soul as you move through big change. I'm here to guide you from frustration to flow in your life, bridging the practical and the woo, just for you. Let's go. Hello, Change Gang. Welcome to the week. I hope you're off to a good start. And today we are going to bridge a little bit of that practical and the woo. I've been in the woo world for the last few weeks talking about all the wonderful things that astrology can bring into your life. And I hope you go back and listen to them if you haven't yet. I think they're pretty cool. So today, though, I want to step into some of the practical stuff when we're facing change and how to really know that this is what we want and what we do want. Because sometimes we're like, yeah, I want change, but I don't know exactly what that looks like. And I don't know if I want to form what that looks like. I just know that I want change. I want something different. So I was going through some of my papers and some of my studies, just refreshing my mind because I'm getting set to go into a mastery level in some hypnotherapy, and I wanted to just refresh myself with some of the studies that I've done in the past with it. So I'm excited that I get to do that, but also going back and looking at some of the things between hypnotherapy and NLP, things like that, really reminded me of how many useful things it has there. And one of them that I came across is well-formed outcomes. It's an exercise to really look at and determine getting to a well-formed outcome. And I say that instead of reaching a goal because for some people, the word goal can be a little bit of something that's not attainable, that's not reachable, that you have to work really hard for, that, it just can make them go, oh, I'll never reach my goals. I don't know if I could do this. Instead, when you tell yourself and you tell your mind, and as I talk about so often, our subconscious hears all the things we say, and sometimes it kicks things out, and sometimes it'll take them in. So you want to frame things and word things in a way that your mind will take it in. So saying that you want an outcome, a well-formed outcome, doesn't put so much pressure on your brain, right? I mean, it just feels easier to even say it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. It's an easier process to move into. Are there similarities in goal setting and moving into a well-formed outcome? Yeah. There are. Obviously, you do want the best outcome, right? That's what a goal does. You set it because you want to reach that outcome. However, with this, I'm going to share with you some questions for you. It's a little bit of an exercise, and it's answering these questions and just going to them and writing them out, sitting down, writing these out, and letting whatever comes come, okay? But this, by initiating these questions and kind of putting them into play, it initiates the process in your mind of the change that you want. So we're going to start with, what do you want? What is the well-formed outcome that you want? And I want you to state this when you write it down. State it in the positive. All right? So I'm just going to use, money as an example through this process for you. So if I say I want $1,000 a month more incoming money, okay, that would be my positive term that I set out there. So then the second question, it's kind of a compound question, but bear with me, is how will you know when you've got it? How will you know when you've got it? What will you see, hear, feel, taste? All right. So, well, how would I know that I've got my $1,000? First of all, I would see the money coming in, right? I might hear the way the world is today, I might hear the ding of an email telling me I've received income. Or I might hear somebody ask me to work with them. And I might see my bank statement. I might feel really good about the fact that I've just seen that money arrive in my checking account, right? You get a little notification from, say, PayPal or Venmo or something like that. How do you feel? You feel so good. I just received money, right? So you're going to write that down. I feel awesome. I feel good. And just because it's a little bit of sarcasm, what do you taste? I taste victory. You might taste a little bit of champagne because you're celebrating, right? So you put yourself in that mode. How will I know when I've got it? And you write that out. Next is where, when, and with whom do I want this, right? I want it when? By next month, within a month. I want this money within a month. Where? I want it in my bank account or in my hand, right? It could be cash money that I receive. I'm not going to say no to cash. I still love cash. So, and with whom? With people that I enjoy being around. I'm just going to leave it at that because it might be somebody that offers me money, a friend, a relative. It might be through my wonderful clients that I work with. It could be through a group that I've enjoy spending time in. It could be any of those. So you write those down. Okay, next would be what resources do you need to get this? What resources? So what that puts my mind into thoughts of, all right, if I'm doing online work, what resources do I need to have in play to be able, well, I need a way to receive money, right? So do I have that set up? Yes, I do. I need a bank account. Do I have that set up? Yes, I do. I need clients. Do I have those? I do. So do I have ways of receiving? Yes, I do. Because those are important, right? Need to have those in place to do that. Now, resources. So let's say this was, I'm just going to go off track for a second here, but let's say that you wanted to be in a relationship, all right? And with this question, what resources do you need to get this? Well, what do you need? Do you need to be on some online sites to be putting yourself out there? Do you need the resources of some groups that get together? Do you need to have the resources to even spend a little money to go out and put yourself in that perspective, in that arena? There are different resources that you need. So what do you need to get what you want? Here's a fun question. What will happen when you get this? What will happen in your world? Well, for me, with money, that extra $1,000 a month would make a huge difference for me. It would make me feel secure. It would make me feel wonderful. It will allow me to pay off the bills that I want to pay off. It will allow me to put money in savings. It will allow me to buy my grandbabies gifts if I want. It will allow me, it will bring all of these things. That's what will happen, right? That's what will happen. How? Next question, number 7. So we're on the 7th question. How will getting this benefit you? How will it benefit me? Well, that's going back to what will happen, right? For me, I talked about the benefits. That's kind of where I went with it because that's what I was thinking. There might be other things that happen, so you could write them all down. But moving into the benefit, all the things I just stated, I will have that wonderful feeling of success. I will have extra money to spend. I will have all the different things that I mentioned. Time with my kids, my grandkids, the ability to share with them, all of those fun things. That's how it will benefit me. Number 8, do you want this change in any other situation? So do I want the change of abundance? I guess I would say, sure, yeah, I want that change in other situations. I want to have those same feelings in my time, the time that I spend, right? I would love to receive more free time to do what I want to do. And so, yes, I would say yes to that. And I would explain in my writing that, yes, I would love that change to happen in time. Number 9, how will making this change affect other aspects of your life? How will it affect other aspects of your life? For me, so how will money affect other aspects of my life? Well, it allows me more freedom in my career. It allows an ease and comfort in the time spent on paying bills and possibly worrying about it. It will affect my relationship too, because there's an ease, right? Sometimes money can be something that comes in as a situational relationship thing. So there's an ease in the relationship that money is flowing and easy and there. So that's how it would affect some other aspects of my life. Now, if you don't know the answer to all of these, kind of just let your imagination or your brain kind of take you in the direction that it wants to go with it, all right? Maybe you're like, I don't know what that means. Well, it could mean this, so I'm going to answer it that way. Absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay to do it that way, all right? So, number 10, all right? And these last 4, I really want you to get in there and just really write out everything that you can think of with them, okay? So touch on all the bases with these. What would happen if you did make that change? So this is super incredible if you're like, these are great questions too if you're trying to make a decision around a change that you want in your life. Should I take that class? Should I not? So go through these questions with something like that, all right, too. And these last 4, I would say, go to if you really are struggling in making the decision of should I or shouldn't I, all right? If I do or if I don't. What if? So what would happen if you did make that change? So what would happen if I did get that extra $1,000 in my life? If I did move in a direction that allowed that to happen? Well, all these things, right? Again, I would have more money in savings. I would have more money in checking. I would have more flexibility in making decisions about where money gets spent, stuff like that, okay? Now, number 11, what would happen if you did not make that change? So if I did not make the change to receiving an extra $1,000 a month, would I still be okay? Yeah. Would it be as easy and flowing as I want it to be? No. Would I need to make changes happen? Yes. I would need to move in another direction. Would I still be okay? Yes. That's a big one right there. And I hope you always come to that yes with that particular one. Would I still be okay? Okay, number 12. What would not happen if you did make that change? Okay, interesting question, right? What would not happen if you made that change? Well, I would not feel overwhelmed. I would not come up short on money in any of my months. I would not feel anxious or insecure on the money aspect. I would not, I could go on. So, and a lot of it's feeling for me, because that's where I would tap into with what I'm looking to receive. You could go very practical with that. What would not happen? Well, my account would not fall short. My, I can't think of something else right now. You can go and move into those very practical issues of what would not happen if this happened. I would not lack in paying the bills, right? I would be able to pay them. So the next question. I hope that was 12. What would not happen if I made this change? Okay, so number 13. Then the last question. What would not happen if you did not make that change? A little interesting there, right? You have to think about that one. What wouldn't happen if you didn't make the change? So if I didn't make this change, what wouldn't happen? Well, I guess things would not change, right? If I didn't make the change, things would not change. Things would not get better. Things would not necessarily be in the comfort zone that I would want them to be in. They would, not change. So it's a little bit of a trick in the mind, but it's important to go through those to see where they take you. Because change is a big deal. So let your brain take some time to go through those and really kind of move in a direction that allows you to accept the things that are there, maybe that are really good and not so good, and see how does it balance out. Are the things that are not going to happen better than the things that are going to happen if this change takes place that you're talking about? Well, that gives you some direction, doesn't it? Or are things that will happen better from this change? So if you're using this in terms of, okay, if I take this course right now, right? If I go in and I jump in and I take this course, some of the things that might happen, okay? I get more education, I get more flexibility in my learning process or in my toolbox of how I teach people. I'm also paying money, so my balance, my checking balance or my whatever is going to be, depleted a little bit. That is an outcome of what's going to happen from that choice. I am going to be committing my time and my effort to something that is going to happen. Okay, so then you go to what would not happen. All right, or what would happen if I did not make the change? What would happen if I did not make the change? Well, or if I did not take the course. Well, okay, I still have the money in my account. I am still qualified. I feel like I would miss out on a chance to advance. I would miss out on the opportunity to be involved in maybe the extras that come with that particular course. I would miss out on what would come later from taking that course, right? So which one is it? See, now you heard me say I would miss out on a lot. So obviously, although the one thing that was there was, yeah, I would have more money in my bank account. Okay, but all of these other things showed up that I felt like if I didn't do it, I would lack or not have. So are those things that you're lacking? Do you want to look at how the balance comes through in that? Was there more on the positive side if I do take that course? Yeah, to me there were, right? Did you hear that in the conversation that I had? So you have to look at those things and decide. Some people say just make a list. Make a list of the pros and cons. Well, you can, but you have to look at some of the things that are really behind those. And that's why I ran through those questions, because they take you to the practical and the emotional level of what is going on in your mind and what's it drawing out to. Is it the benefit or is it the detriment of what's going to happen? What are the resources that you need in order to do it? Are they there? Are they something that you absolutely feel like you could do? Is it absolutely not possible? And are there people there that you want to be involved with or not? I think I might have actually missed one of the questions. I'm going to run through them again real quick so that you can write them down and go through them. But here we go. Number one, what do you want? What do you want? What outcome do you want? And state it in the positive. Number two, how will you know when you've got it? What will you see, hear, feel, taste? Number three, where, when, and with whom do you want this? So this change, this outcome, who do you want that to be involved with? All right. Here's one I'm not sure. I think I might have missed. Where, when, and with whom do you not want this? So if this change was to take place, where would it take you? Would it take you away from some people that you don't want involved in it? Think about that. Number 5, what resources do you need to get this? Number 6, what will happen when you get this? Number 7, how will getting this benefit you? Number 8, do you want this change in any other situation? Number 9, how will making this change affect other aspects of your life? Number 10, what would happen if you did make this change? Number 11, what would happen if you did not make this change? Number 12, what would not happen if you did make the change? And number 13, the wild one, right? What would not happen if you did not make that change? What would not happen? And that's a big one. For me, in my example of like taking a class or doing the thing or making more money, what would not happen if I did not make the change to move in and make that extra money? Well, nothing's going to change. But is that what I want? Is that really what I want? That's where you go to. So I hope some of those were practical and the examples I gave were sufficient to help get you into understanding what they were. But of course, ask me any questions that you have about anything I just said anytime. And I'm here for you. So email me, send me a message on social media, any of that, and we can chat. And of course, I have some wonderful, wonderful freebies for you. So take a look in the show notes there and see which one you might like. All right? Meet you here next week. I hope today's episode was interesting to you in some way and fun. If so, hey, find someone to share it with. Maybe they need to hear it too, or maybe they'll just enjoy it. If you'd like, go ahead and grab my tips on supercharging your success. It includes a free short meditation to do just that. You can find that at bit.ly/supercharge your success. Until next time, happy day.